Watching WKDT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. Authorities in Two Rivers, Wisconsin have issued an Amber Alert for a missing 3-year-old boy. Elijah Vu was last seen near 3900 Mishicot Road. He is white, 3 feet tall, and weighs 45 pounds. He has sandy hair, brown eyes, and a birthmark on his left knee. Elijah was last seen wearing gray sweatpants, a long-sleeved, dark-colored shirt, and red and green dinosaur slip-on shoes. Anyone with information on his location are asked to call the Two Rivers Police Department at the number on your screen.
Last night, the La Crosse Board of Education voted to move forward with an elementary school consolidation plan. Residents in La Crosse will now likely face a referendum this November on the project.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergit has what's next. Allison.
Ken and Emily, the board says the Hogan Administrative Center would be the site of the new elementary school. It would come at the expense of 2 other schools closing. That's if the referendum passes, and there's still a long ways to go.
All right, so it looks like the motion carries.
And with that, La Crosse's school board voted for one path forward: Emerson and Spence Elementary School consolidation.
We've heard from the community that they value neighborhood schools, that they value walkable neighborhoods, that they really want to keep schools where students are living.
The board shared data that showed the consolidation plan would increase the number of students that live within 1 mile of their school by 8 percentage points. Board President Annie Bauman sees this as similar to the Northside Elementary School project from a few years ago, which she hails as a huge success.
We're hoping that with this, as we face these enrollment trends, that we have the opportunity to really invest in our students and staff by kind of building a nice flagship school on the south side.
The plan is still in the early stages.
A lot of community engagement is going to happen through this process.
The board will continue to work on the referendum's official language, something they hope to have finished by April. If the plan moves forward, Bauman says the new school would likely open for the 2027-28 school year, but neighbors of Emerson are already pushing against the idea.
I'm quite upset.
Amber Leibengut Peterson is an Emerson parent. She recently declared her candidacy as a write-in candidate for the school board. She says the community needs to know more about the district's long-term plan. Even if the referendum passes, the district is still facing a $1.6 million deficit.
I really think it's important to have a long-term plan, and I think I can't make a decision on a closure or a referendum without knowing the next steps.
Other Emerson parents say they felt a lack of transparency and communication from the school board around this decision. Despite some community members' hesitation to support the measure, Bauman is confident people will rally behind the idea.
For me, this is an option that presents this great opportunity in a time of a lot of anxiety around what the future could be.
Because no schools are closing for the 2024-25 school year, the district will be operating at a deficit. Superintendent Dr. Engel will be presenting on March 4th about district plans to make ends meet for the next few years. Ken and Emily.
All right, Allison Fergit live in studio. Thank you, Allison. The board is also planning to host community workshops that focus on the consolidation plan. Those will be starting in March as well.
Well, I know it's still winter, but it was a beautiful spring day outside today, wasn't it?
A quintessential spring kind of like condition.
Right.
I'm hoping for this all the time, Greg.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the winter of, we never had a winter really so far as what's going on, but we do have conditions once again in the 50s today, and that's going to be the story as we go through at least Thursday with maybe a break Friday, but overall really beautiful conditions out there, mid 40s, just a few high clouds, light winds overall. There's your high temperatures today, most in the 50s, even upper 50s as you go further south, a little cooler up to the north, but all in all well above average as you're looking at 20 to 25 typically, and this has been a common theme over February too, is seeing that all throughout. Overall temperatures are still very mild out there, mid 40s in most locations, a few areas still in the 50s too to speak of. Big picture look like we still have warm air to the kitchens. There really is no cold air to be found unless you go up to Canada. We do have a weak systems. All these weak systems are coming across from the west and providing an opportunity for cloud cover more or less, but that's really about it until we get to Friday. So that's what you're going to see overall throughout the evening and overnight hours. There's a few clouds, but overall very mild conditions for February. 36 degrees is getting down to later at night. Same story for Eau Claire. Once again, just a few degrees cooler, but all in all, very mild conditions for almost the end of February. Now we will give you an indication if winter is coming back, but we do have some changes coming next week, not in the form of so much snow, but we do have some wet conditions coming. But in the meantime, enjoy the 50s for a little bit longer.
All right, will do. Thank you, Greg.
Everyone is safe after a house fire in Viroqua this morning. Viroqua's fire chief says crews were called to the scene around 8:15 this morning. Upon arrival, they observed heavy smoke and fire coming from the attached garage and porch. The crew was able to swiftly extinguish the fire. Everyone was able to get outside before the fire department arrived, and no one was hurt. The Viroqua Fire Department is investigating the cause of the fire.
Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers is visiting UWL, celebrating the end of what he calls undemocratic gerrymandered maps. The governor yesterday signed new district maps that the Republican-controlled legislature also approved. The previous maps that the Supreme Court ruled unconstitutional allowed the GOP to maintain a 2-to-1 party representation in Madison. Evers says the new maps reflect Wisconsin's razor-thin margins as a purple state. He calls new maps a victory not just for a single party, but for the people who have been demanding more from lawmakers for more than a decade.
These maps will bring us the closest elections we ever have and the most competitive races that we've ever had in the state of Wisconsin. And by doing that, the vote that people make is exceedingly important.
This is also the first time in 50 years that the state courts have not needed to decide on new district maps.
2 local school districts are holding their primary school board elections today.
The Black River Falls School District is electing a new member to their school board. The candidates for this year's race are on your screen now. There are 8 of them. Voters can choose up to 3 candidates. Those polls are open until 8 p.m.
Seneca School District is also holding its school board primary election today, but they have 2 spots open. Today's election will knock out one of the 5 candidates. The candidates for that race are on your screen. The polls for that election are also open until 8 o'clock tonight. We will have the results of these elections at 10.
The superintendent of DeSoto area schools has announced today she is ending her career. During a school board meeting last night, the board approved Lindsey Groning's retirement.
News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall joins us with the latest. Jeremy.
Emily Groning has spent most of her career around kids. She loves working with them and the teachers in DeSoto area schools. But after 30 years in education, she tells me it's time to move on. Since 2012, Lindsey Groning has worked in DeSoto area schools. Groning served as principal for its middle school and high school for 3 years. In 2015, she became superintendent after 3 decades in education and 11 years in DeSoto. Groning will be retiring. She thought more about retirement after her husband's death in September 2022. Both of them worked in the district, but after much consideration, a decision was made this week.
And what I will miss most is the students and working with teachers to make sure that they have educational opportunities, extracurricular opportunities, and opportunities for travel and experiences not only in the state but around the country and around the world.
Groning adds that she loves her job so much she never considers it work. I also reached out to Stoddard Elementary principal Derek Folsang to find out what he thinks of Groning's retirement. He tells me he has no comment on it. Ken and Emily?
Okay, we wish her the best. Thank you, Jeremy. The United Nations are pushing for another temporary ceasefire in Gaza.
This new resolution is also warning Israel not to invade the refugee-filled city of Rafah.
We've done many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
In 2001, my father established La Crosse Fireplace Company. Since then, our family has had the privilege of helping families create a warm gathering place in their home. Today, my brother Jeremy and I are the second generation to carry on the values and traditions that was started 23 years ago. Whether it's a remodel or a new installation, La Crosse Fireplace Company looks forward to serving you for many years to come. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
Don't settle with the insurance company until you've talked with Schwebel, Getz & Sieben.
I felt so special. I felt that I was going to be their #1 client.
I just got a great peace of mind knowing that I wasn't a case number, that we were doing this together.
We really did feel like we had a team behind us.
I was really impressed with how they treated us. They were backing us up 100%.
They always have your best interest in mind.
Go to Schwebel.com and fill out a free online case evaluation. There is no fee unless we win.
Want to see a magic trick? Taco John's is turning your dollar into mouth-watering favorites with the new BOGO for a Buck menu. Get a signature Taco John's item, then add another for just a buck. Abracadabra, yeah! The new BOGO for a Buck menu, only at Taco John's.
Where there's a flooded basement, musty crawl space, or wood rot, there's an answer. American Waterworks. For more than 30 years, American Waterworks has been solving homeowners' toughest waterproofing problems. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
Whether it's a bathroom remodel or comprehensive plumbing services, we at Maxwell White strive to keep our neighbors safe and comfortable in their homes, offering honest, upfront pricing on every service, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call Maxwell White today.
For the first time, the U.S. appears ready to support a UN resolution calling for a temporary ceasefire in the war in Gaza. That resolution could also warn Israel against launching a ground assault on the southern Gaza city of Rafah, which is packed with refugees.
There are also concerns an Israeli offensive could threaten the safety of surviving Israeli hostages. Holly Williams has more from Israel.
Israel's military says it recently found this security camera video in southern Gaza, apparently showing the Bibas family the same day they were kidnapped, October 7th, being moved by the militants. Baby Kafir was 9 months old at the time, the youngest hostage. Taken with his 4-year-old brother Ariel and their parents Shiri and Yarden. In November, as Hamas released over 100 hostages, the group claimed Shiri and her 2 children had been killed in an airstrike, but the militants haven't handed over any bodies.
I say, give them what they want. Just bring me back my family.
Yufat Zyla is a cousin of Shiri Bibas and her 2 boys. We spoke to her before the new video was made public.
So you're in a kind of limbo. For me, my family is still there, still very much alive until, we receive the confirmation.
Children on both sides of this conflict have lost their innocence to the violence. In Gaza, more than 12,000 children have been killed in the war, according to Hamas officials.
Not another generation can be born into this hatred. I want my 2-year-old and a 2-year-old on the other side to be able to grow and not hate each other.
Holly Williams, CBS News.
The U.S. is pushing hard for a ceasefire, but Hamas says it won't agree to any deal without Israel withdrawing its forces from Gaza.
Well, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said Hamas's demands are, quote, delusional.
Humans can now control a computer mouse with their brain.
Elon Musk says his first human trial participant for Neuralink is a success.
And we got warm temperatures across the entire U.S., even 80s down in the south. So this March-like weather will continue for our area with more 50s. But we do have some rain in the forecast next week. I'll time that out and see if we got any snow on the backside as we come up with First Word Weather Update after the break.
Dad always said I was special, that I would do something big someday. But for a while, we were just worried about getting to tomorrow. At UW Health, we found the team that made it their mission. Not just to get me through the day, but to give me a new life and a new kidney. Now, my future is infinite. UW Health. Remarkable.
If your tub or shower is less than you'd like it to be, then you owe it to yourself to visit the board store during the 2024 Early Bird Home Show. If you'd like a shower, rain shower, personal shower, shelves, safety grab bars, you can get a complete unit as low as $79.80. Call or visit the board store during the Early Bird Home Show for safety, convenience, and beauty in your new bathroom. Call or visit today.
President's Day is a time to honor all presidents, past and present. And at King Furniture, we're giving you the opportunity to save some presidents with huge discounts throughout the entire store, up to 60% off.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
And right now, you can get 0% financing.
So save some presidents at King.
For the record, Franklin was not a president, but you can save him too. It's the President's Day sale going on right now at King Furniture.
Nice people.
Nice furniture.
Nice style.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere. At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you. With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
What I love about T-Mobile is that just about anywhere you go, you're going to have coverage.
Where I live is a rural area. The coverage has been awesome.
Reliable coverage is super important for me, for my business.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Try T-Mobile's network free for 3 months. Your phone, our network, no strings.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Elon Musk says Neuralink's first human trial participant can control a computer mouse with their brain.
This nearly after a month having the company's chip implanted. The FDA gave clearance for human clinic trials in May. He said last month the company had completed its first implantation surgery on a human test subject. Musk has offered few details and no evidence about the outcome of the operation.
Neuralink's goal is to use implants to connect human brains to computers to help, for example, paralyzed people to control smartphones or computers, or for blind people to regain their sight.
See, I like it for that reason, but then when we start controlling things in the computer for fun.
Yeah, in a vacuum, that's an interesting theoretical to be like, oh, would you want a microchip implanted in your brain?
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Greg. How's the weather doing?
Well, that's a good transition to trying to control the weather, too.
Yeah.
Like. But everyone, like I said, it's been a very mild winter. And when we talk about meteorological side of it, it's really we're talking about December, January, and February, not the typical days, too. So if you break it down, we're actually coming to the end of it, too. For those dates, we're still well above average. We're actually number 2 for average temperature. If you average it out for the 3 months right now, we're number 2. We're not going to probably get number 1, but we are on track to get probably the warmest February on record, too. So if you thought it was mild, you're correct. It's been very mild, record level temperatures all over. So as you look at the next few days, it's just really cloud cover that'll come through the area. It won't change much, but we are tracking a little bit more cloud cover as we get later in tomorrow. Tomorrow temperatures, mid-50s to the south, low 50s. Everyone will see the 50s unlikely. And then we have that little system that's going to pass through the south. Now it will increase the cloud cover and it might provide an evening sprinkle or maybe even a shower for areas south of La Crosse as we get probably until about midnight time frame. If you're north of that area, you probably won't see much and just a few clouds. This will kind of pass through fairly quickly and most of it stay into the south. Clearing skies as you wake up for Thursday. And Thursday, really, the only difference is going to be the wind direction a little bit out of the northwest. So that might bump your temperatures down a few degrees into still around the upper 40s, low 50s. And then as we go into Friday, there's a little bit of a stronger front to the north that's going to dig south. You can see it up here as it digs south. One thing that we'll note is the winds will definitely pick up a little bit out of the north and further north you go too. More cloud cover, and if you get closer up there, you might even get a flake of snow too from Lake Superior. Probably will kick on the lake effect snow up there. All in all, that's going to drop our temperatures back closer to average. Probably still be above average before we go for Friday. The one thing is that's only going to last maybe about a day. Winds turn around, so this weekend we're going to see temperatures climb at least in the 40s Saturday, 50s, maybe even 60 come Sunday. And all that's because a system's going to be approaching, and that'll turn the winds around to the south this weekend, and they'll really start picking up as we go into next Monday. That system will get close. There's a lot of questions on how this evolves as it pushes into the plains and then gets to the Midwest, but we will definitely see the winds pick up. We will see a better shot of rain coming through and potentially some snow on the backside as it works its way through. Now, the timing, still a lot in question marks, but definitely prepare for more wet conditions as we go into next week and breezier conditions, especially south, and then the winds will eventually turn around. So that's what we're looking at right now, and we'll fill you in more details as we get closer to it. But otherwise, we still got nice conditions tonight, looking at the upper 20s, low 30s, very mild for February with light winds, a few passing high clouds. Tomorrow we'll see more clouds in the afternoon, especially further south to go, maybe even an evening sprinkle, but we're still looking at temperatures in the mid-50s south, all the way to the low 50s further north too, and all a very warm, mild day. And those conditions continue somewhat on Thursday with a drop on Friday, getting closer to average temperatures, and then we turn right back around for the weekend. In fact, and then we'll approach, unlike some areas may approach 60 on Sunday, we'll probably definitely see close to 60 on Monday. And then it'll be just breezy conditions, and there's a lot of question marks on how that plans out. But do plan for unsettled weather next week. Probably cooler as we go towards the second half, but still enjoy the 50s,
right
maybe
now,
even the 60s.
soak it all up.
Right.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Badgers are back at home tonight looking for a win over Maryland. Plus, it is playoff time for our girls basketball team. Postseason tips off at the top of the hour. Rob previews it all next.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
So you missed the boat show. Come to Holman Marine this weekend and see a larger selection of new and used boats than what was at the boat show. Hundreds of new and used boats and motors. Trade-ins are welcome. This weekend at Holman Marine on Holman Drive.
Asher Laston Exteriors is committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and outstanding customer service as Western Wisconsin's window and door replacement experts. Our superior quality, energy-saving windows and doors from the trusted brand of Renewal by Andersen are skillfully installed by certified technicians and backed by some of the strongest transferable warranties available. Save up to 22% with zero down and no interest or payments for up to 18 months with Renewal by Andersen Windows and Doors. Brought to you by Asher Laston Exteriors.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual. So you missed the boat show. Come to Holman Marine this weekend and see a larger selection of new and used boats than what was at the boat show. Hundreds of new and used boats and motors. Trade-ins are welcome. This weekend at Holman Marine on Holman Drive.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
We've talked about it for weeks, but now the playoffs are finally here. The Wisconsin girls basketball teams tip off their postseason in just about a half hour from now. A lot of our area squads have a shot at doing something special. Doesn't get too much better than this. A few of our conference rivals clashing in the first round. Luther High will be jam-packed tonight as the Knights tip off the regional quarterfinals in Division 4 against rival Westby. These two teams met twice during the regular season. Luther came out on top in both matchups. We'll see how round 3 goes tonight. The action doesn't stop there. We'll have a jam-packed first round of the playoffs coming up tonight at 10. A pair of MVC rivals will go toe-to-toe in Tomah as the Timberwolves play host to rival Logan. These two teams split their matchups in the regular season. Tomah coming out on top just a couple of weeks ago at home against the Rangers. We'll see how this one plays out tonight. Also in D2, Sparta's at home hosting Baraboo. In Division 3, Black River Falls travels to Mauston. And in Division 4, Melrose Mindoro plays host to Necedah. On the college hardwood tonight, the Eagles tip off the WIAC tournament at home. La Crosse gets a 3 seed as they welcome in UW Stout. These two teams split their matchups as well during the regular season, each team winning on its home court. Eagles are 14-11 this year. They finished 8-6 in conference play. UWL dropped its regular season finale over the weekend on the road in Eau Claire, but the Eagles will look to start the WIAC tournament with a win tonight. I'll have the highlights coming up at 10. Big night for the Badgers. Wisconsin's back at home looking to right the ship after a heartbreaking loss over the weekend in Iowa City. Badgers falling in overtime in that one. They've dropped 5 of their last 6 games. They're now just 9-6 in Big Ten play. Far cry from that 8-1 mark they were at a few weeks ago when Wisconsin climbed all the way to 6th in the country. Fast forward to the present, Badgers have been bounced from the latest AP Top 25 poll. We'll see if they can get back on the right track starting tonight at home against Maryland. I got to do this every single time. My buddy Mike relies on me for this. It's on Peacock. He refuses to get Peacock. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. But it's an 8 o'clock start, and I always tell him, Mike, it's tough to get the highlights at 10. For sure. A lot of pressure. Yeah. I'm up for the challenge. Hopefully the game's over by 10. They get a win. And I'll have the highlights for you coming up at 10.
There we go. Sounds like a plan.
I'm ready.
Badgers could use one.
Puts a lot of pressure, especially for the playoffs, girls' playoffs tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure on me, but I'm up for it. My voice is still kind of...
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
We're catching up.
He's a warrior.
Trying.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay. We'll be right back after this.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com.
Garbage day!
Here you go.
Russell! I swear I've been seeing you everywhere.
I've been busy.
Are you looking for a high-paying career without any experience? Chart Industries has the opportunity you've been waiting for. Starting wage $30 per hour, highest pay in the area, guaranteed 40 hours, and so much more. If you are making less than $60,000 and want a healthy work-life balance, apply at jobs.chartindustries.com today. That's jobs.chartindustries.com.
Another day, another 50 degrees for most areas. Actually, mid-50s is potential, maybe even upper 50s as we go further south. More clouds as we go towards the evening, especially south of La Crosse. That might even result in a sprinkle or two. But other than that, a little bit cooler Thursday, a drop Friday near average temperatures. We flip the switch, we go right back up for the weekend. And next week, looks wet, could be windy, but still warm.
Still warm.
Still warm for right now.
Saving grace right there. Thank you, Greg, and thank you all for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.